What's up, guys? So I got some sad news for you. My Sabre has died. So I was trying to fix a leak in a piece that I'll show you guys, and it fired a few times after I did that. Every once in a while, it would fart, and then I would pull the mag out to take all the pressure out of the launcher, because the magazine is what feeds the gas to it. And then I would put the mag back in, like so, and it would fire a couple more times, and it would kind of get stuck, and then I'd pop the mag out, all the pressure would come out, put the mag back, fire it a couple more times, and it would work. But yesterday, that was on Sunday I was doing that. Yesterday was Monday, and I took apart the thing and was looking at some of the parts. I was assuming it's like my valve O-ring or something. I looked at the valve O-ring; it didn't look bad. I've never had issues with the valve O-ring on other launchers, so I don't really know what I'm like trying to diagnose or troubleshoot. So I was messing around with it for about an hour, taking it apart, putting it back together, trying the gas line. It would fail, and then I would put it back together, try something else, look at different things, and then my trigger mechanism kind of started acting funny. So usually you can see that straight down here where the safety button is, straight down there's a spring and like a brass tube. It usually resets this that little piece of metal you see moving around. It usually resets and clicks, but sometimes it's not doing that now. And then I was having some problems with a slide in there, so I feel like it's toast right now. It doesn't hold air. I'll air it up and show you guys. It just farts. I tried taking the shell off and airing it up, and you can do that, but I would not recommend it unless you have like vice grips or like protective equipment and stuff that you're wearing to block things that could possibly fly out. So I would not suggest doing what I'm about to show you, but this is the only way I could sort of diagnose where that air leak was coming from. But what I basically ended up finding out was I think my bolt and firing pin are loose, and there's no threads on it. It looks like it's just crimped into the end of the I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's kind of confusing. But let me just take this apart. So yeah, if you have this, I would not suggest modifying it the way I have, because eventually you're gonna cause damage to your bolt and firing pin area, and you can't buy parts for this. I contacted Sabre. I told them, hey, I was screwing around with this. It's totally my fault that it doesn't work anymore. Do you guys have a repair service or like warrant? I know it's not in warranty anymore, and I told them that, like, I'm totally 100% at fault for breaking this thing. But if they have a repair service, or like if I can still send it in and like they just charge me or whatever to get it fixed, I have yet to hear back from them. They usually take like a day or something to get back to me. Typically, I sent them an email like on Pacific Coast time around like 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm gonna take this apart. I'll be right back. All right, so screws are out. I've taken this apart on numerous videos. This has become like a cakewalk for me now to tear this apart at this point. I think I was dismantling it and re-putting it back together like every 10 minutes. So you have a spring thingy right here that resets your trigger. You have your trigger mechanism has two pins in it, a spring and a lever arm. So that lever arm pulls on this piece back here. Mine was kind of like getting stuck and stuff. It was like jamming up, acting really weird. That is an issue for me, plus other things. And I don't know if it's because I'm shooting aluminum balls out of this and Joule V3s that it's causing a lot of, plus it's modded. So it's, instead of hitting like 19 to 18 joules, how this is advertised to hit, I've been using this at like 34 joules because I pulled a restrictor out of it. And I feel like the way it's constructed, it's not meant to be taking hits like that, I guess you could say, or like be pressurized so much, because it's kind of like a design weakness, structural weakness with the design. So I'm going to pressurize this just really quickly and show you what it's doing. Unless it randomly just miraculously fixed overnight, which I doubt. This is what it's doing. It's not holding air. It's basically, it kind of has the symptoms of like a bad valve O-ring. I contacted Sean from Less Lethal for Dummies just to poke his brain at, I know he doesn't have one of these, but just to poke his brain with, because he has a lot more knowledge about air systems and troubleshooting and like failures and stuff like that, more than I do. I know some, like a pretty good amount of stuff now that I've been doing this for about a year. But I just like to pick his brain every once in a while about certain things, or if, you know, for stuff that he doesn't have, if I run into like a wall and I can't find out stuff, I'll ask him or Rune Rebel, or Rune Rebel will point me in the right direction for certain things. So this is it. I'm going to air it up really quickly. You're going to see this just shooting. You're going to hear a bunch of noise. I'm pretty sure I'll be fine. I've aired it up a couple times the other day. I'm still going to hold this down, and I have the tank right here wedged between my legs. So I'm going to be screwing that valve and airing this up just really quickly. Check valve is on, or slide check is on. So you're going to hear this moving and hissing, and all this randomness is going to be going on right now. Okay, well, it decided not to do it right now, which is random. So I'm going to, I'll be right back. All right, it's reassembled. I just put the shell back on and tightened up all the bolts, screws. I'm going to see if this airs up. If it doesn't air up, you're just going to hear it farting. So it's aired up right now. I'm going to try pulling this. So my trigger is jamming. Like it should be firing right now, but it's not. So I'm going to tear this down, and I'll show you guys what I've found out, or like what I've seen, which is possibly wrong with this. I'm just going to degas check valve. So I'll be right back. All right, we're back right here. I'm going to see what's going on with this. So yesterday it wasn't wanting to fire. Well, it would just fart. It was just farting. The sear would is basically just like pushing this forward and just shooting when it shouldn't be, or like firing, cycling. I'm gonna have to look at this. So this is acting weird. This should go forward further, and yesterday it didn't want to go back. Like it was coming forward and it was getting stuck. So now it's not going forward all the way. So this is acting weird. And I tried taking these off. These are so small, like I don't have anything that'll fit through here. This is like a needle would push through this, and I'm pretty sure there's probably some pins or something that go through here. I don't think I tightened them too hard, like overkill on the tightening them, because there's these like super small set screws right here that could be an issue, but I just pretty much tightened it and then gave it like a tiny bit more of a turn, but I didn't pull down really hard. But this was acting weird yesterday. It was getting stuck forward and didn't want to go back. This is what I think activates it to fire. It kind of it messes around with the sear in there a little bit. I still don't know what this is doing, this little brass pipe with the spring. But anyways, I'm going to take this apart. I'm going to dismantle this piece. I'll be right back. All right, so the first time I took this apart, it was like Loctited together pretty good. If I can get this to work again, I'm probably going to Loctite it, because these sort of end up loosening up, and especially if it works and I'm still able to fire this at like 30 joules or 34 joules with no restrictor in the rear valve cap. So I'm probably going to Loctite this if I can get it to function again. But I'm still waiting to hear back from Sabre about, parts and whatever. This launcher I bought in the beginning of March 2025. It is now almost May 2025, or like one day away from 2025. So it's April 30th today, or April 29th today, right now. And yesterday, the 28th, was when this was just going bonkers and not cooperating one bit. So I checked pretty much everything that I've looked at previously. I didn't see anything wrong. So I was assuming that possibly my sear is effed or like the spring pushing it is messed up, but this is acting normal. Like there's still the same amount of tension that I remember there being on this. It's not like bent or cracked or anything. This little tooth part, it looks totally fine to me. It does. One issue is obviously I've already shown this thing, which is supposed to, you know, activate and go forward all the way. Whenever you pull the trigger, the little arm, this little arm back here, it grabs this little channel, grabs this edge. This is facing down, and it grabs the edge and it pulls it forward, and then it's supposed to go back and click. So yesterday I was noticing it's kind of moving around, like up and down a little bit. I don't remember it being like that before. So it could be because I'm obviously I'm misusing this. So like I'm running too much power through it, too much air through it, possibly. But yeah, this is acting weird now. I don't know what's going on with this. This was a secondary thing that I thought was weird with this launcher. I still haven't been able to pull this off. I haven't tried heating it or anything like that. And I have a wrench that'll fit this, but it's just like, it's super tight. So maybe at some point, if I can't get parts for this, I'll just tear the whole damn thing apart, because it's going to be pointless for me to have this. It's just going to be a paperweight, kind of like old this thing over here, piece of crap. So this is now off. This is the bolt. This is the power tube. Everything in here looks fine. The Teflon tape, from what I thought was stopping a leak, didn't do anything, because I aired it up and I could still hear the leaking. So either I didn't put enough, or this is not the issue, this Teflon tape on these O-rings, or on these threads. This O-ring looks fine. The O-ring that attaches to the bottom of the air system looks fine. This is clean inside. The valve O-ring, to me it looks fine. I was kind of looking at it pretty good yesterday to see if I can find any like super small scratches or marks or anything on it, and I didn't see anything. So I thought, okay, maybe I put too much grease, because I put too much grease and oil on my HDP 50 Gen 2 before, and it was leaking air because the valve was just too slick. So right now this is holding air. Yesterday it was just like farting it all out, but I did take a lot of the grease out from this. And I got a Q-tip, like a ear swab, cotton swab, put it down here, and I was trying to wedge it in there, and I noticed that the valve pin moved a little bit, and right now I'm trying to move it. It's not really moving that much, but it looks to me like it's crimped on. So there's this weird little dimple right here, and there's a dimple right here, and there's a dimple right here, and that's on the front of the bolt. And like, I don't think it should be moving around. You can see it moving. It shouldn't be moving like that. So that could be an issue. Sean said it could possibly be the firing pin loose, because it's not sitting against the valve O-ring good. But since I took most of the grease out, it's sealing now. But yesterday my trigger was working, and today it's not wanting to do anything. So I'm trying to move this around with the screwdriver. It's just kind of barely wiggling. You can kind of see it moving around right now. So it's not much. So I don't know if it was the issue, or if it's just too much grease. But now I'm having an issue with this thing, with the trigger. So I don't know really how to pop this off and stuff, because I could take this bottom piece off and it'll just be this flat thing by itself. But yeah, I thought it would be this, but now that it's holding air, it's not really indicating that it's this. It could have just been too much grease, honestly. But either way, it's not firing right now because that this arm is acting weird. So yeah, it should be doing that. So I think there's something wrong with this, and I can't like make this go a certain way. Actually, the whole thing is moving around. You can see that brass piece is just wiggling around. So I still need to figure out what that is doing. I assumed it was causing like a valve to move in here to get pressed and be exposed for air to come through, but I don't think that's what it's doing. So yeah, I'm just gonna look at this for a little bit longer, and if I can figure out like why this is being weird, maybe it'll work again. I actually don't think this is connected to anything. So yeah, I'll update you guys if I can get this to work. I don't want this video to be like 40 minutes of me just screwing around with this, but this is the bolt. Sean asked if he can look at it. I think it's pressed, like crimped in right here and right here and right here. There's no like that's just flat in there inside this. There's no like flat head or slotted thing or Phillips piece or hex shape in there. Like it's just flat. And the other side of the bolt is also just rounded with no nothing to grab or pull that out. So I don't have any pliers. I wouldn't want to go this way because you don't want that surface of the bolt to get all like scratched up and stuff, because that's sealing the valve. And I have a little bit of play in this, but not as much as I thought I did. But it is moving around, and it should not be like that. It's really, really small, but I mean, when you have that much pressure on a small little O-ring and on a firing pin, you don't want there to be play in it. So it's pretty minuscule, but it is moving around. But yeah, I'll take a look at my trigger. If I can get this to air up, I'll throw it in at the end of the video if it will fire and stuff. But I feel like doing the mod I did, which was taking this, could be either the mod I did and using it with so much power behind it, so much force, taking this out of the back of the power tube, because this went in here along with this O-ring right here. It fit into this. So much air is coming out, it's not meant to be fired that hard. So that's one issue. The other issue is it's hitting so hard and moving so fast that it's causing this to get damaged, like the sear and the whatever this thing is, this trigger actuator. I'm still trying to figure out what this is and how these affect this. But now that I'm moving this around, I see that brass tube is not connected to this air passage at all, because there would be a hole or something, but it's not. So yeah, something in this is what makes it shoot. So when you pull the trigger, this goes and it goes back. But I don't know the inner workings of in here, and I don't have anything small enough to pop this out, because I could take these set screws out, but it doesn't want to like come out, and I don't want to just rip this up and like F this thing up really bad. So I know that this one is just holding a pin through here and the sear. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to stop the video, kind of just do that mod at your own risk. If it's worth getting the 30 joule on the CO2 12 gram, you'll get like 30 joules on your first shot, and then like 27, and then 23, and then 20. First 4 shots hit pretty hard. But overall, it was the same average across the 7 shots on the magazine. First 7 shots was about the same, maybe like 1 joule higher, the average. So if you want to cause the damage like how I've caused damage to mine, I mean, and you're not using it all the time like how I was using it all the time, then, you know, be my guest. But warning you now that it might not pan out good for your launcher. It didn't work for mine, but anyways, I'll update you guys. Maybe I'll add on to the end of this video. Sorry, it's 20 minutes, but yeah, I just need to let you guys know that pulling the restrictor out might cause some irreversible damage. And this spring doesn't look bad. I forgot to show this earlier. This spring's still pretty tight. Like, it's not easy for me to squish this, and there's no cracks or anything on it. Where the sear would grab this, the bolt doesn't look damaged. Like, it looks fine. It's not, there's not like a crazy gash in it or it's cracked or nothing. It looks totally fine. And to me it does. This looks okay. The only little bit of damage I saw was down here. And I think that's for when it goes forward. Let me try to get this sear out of here. When it goes forward, I'm not sure what's going on with that, but it could just be the bolt, not the bolt, the spring, like grinding into this. It's probably the spring grinding into that, in that little corner, that edge right there. So that's the only like sort of damage or something weird I saw. That wasn't there when I first got this, but I've been shooting this thing hard. I've been, you know, doing salt supply versus this videos and a bunch of other stuff that I've made in the past. So anyways, long video, sorry about that. And just showing, you know, Sean what's going on with this. I don't know if he'll have any ideas or suggestions, but yeah, that's the O-ring for the air valve. I like, this was acting weird yesterday, but now it's okay. But I think if it comes misaligned, it gets wonky. So I'll see if I can fire this, and thanks for checking it out. All right, you guys, it's all put back together. I had to disassemble it a couple times because the trigger is still kind of acting weird. That little flat plate thing that I was showing you earlier. So it's not aired up right now. Everything is tightened back up. I'm gonna try turning on the air gas, the CO2 tank. So that's kind of what it was doing yesterday. It's just like farting all the air. I hear the clicking now, so that's good. But now that I hear the clicky noise, I don't know if it's constantly open or if there's something wrong with my valve O-ring or the bolt being a firing pin and stuff being loose. I'll try airing it up one more time. So yeah, it's just being weird. And I can't really see in there, but the bolt's not locked forward, but if I turn this on, you'll probably see it move. Sorry, it's fuzzy, but yeah, this is basically what it was doing yesterday. It didn't want to stay aired up, and yeah, it's just being all sus. So yep, that's it for this one. Don't know if I'll be able to fix it. Like I said earlier, I contacted Sabre, and my next bet would be, like, you know, obviously ask Less Lethal for Dummies about anything he might know about, but that's functioning correctly. That little thing moving around, now it's not. And I'm gonna see if, now that it's not resetting, if it's gonna hold air, because it could be something with the air system. Oh, now it's working again. So yeah, I don't know. It's just being weird. I don't have any like source to go off of other than just taking the thing apart and reassembling it and trying different stuff. So I'll try airing it up one more time. So yeah, that was pretty much what it was doing yesterday. It just farts air. So I'm just judging them on that. I think it's the valve O-ring and or the firing bolt or the firing pin. So yeah, that's what this is doing right now. I haven't tried taking the valve valve O-ring out yet, and I don't know of any like paintball markers or any other Less Lethals that have that same style of firing pin and bolt. I can't take the firing pin out because there's no way to get in there, so I can't like measure that to see if it like a FSC one would fit in there. I don't have an FSC, and I looked at how much a bolt and stuff is for the FSC, and it basically costs as much as this just for the bolt assembly. I think it's like $120, and that's basically how much I bought this thing for. So at least my trigger thing's working now. But yeah, I don't know if it's the valve O-ring or the firing pin or the bolt. Like there's some looseness in there, and there's no like part schematic for this, so I'd have to tear out my valve O-ring, measure it, find one, and then put that in there and see if it still farts. So yep, that's what this is doing. Probably gonna, I'm not gonna give up on it, but it's gonna take me a while to get this to work again, unless Sabre says like, oh yeah, we'll you know, fix it, just send it in, even though I told them I screwed around with the inside and it's like totally my fault for doing whatever I did with it. So I'll see what they do. Another alternative is I could contact John Reynolds, Alternate Arm Self-Defense, and see if he has parts or if he can get me parts for this. But that's, I won't know any of that for a couple weeks. So anyways, guys, you have a good one, and I'll see you next time.